Hello, TCI family, Jonathan's Refuge, all of our followers out there. Excuse the hair not done and my not in my studio getting prepared for the message. I'm in a hospital. I have a small surgery, nothing big, no worries. But I want to get right to the message because I need to be quick. In the Vedas, the holy Vedas, which are the holy scriptures for the Hindu spiritual faith, there's one, and I'm going to read it to you. Let me get my glasses. Read. Just as the spider creates, draws its web, just as trees are born on the earth, just as hairs on the head and the body grow from a living person, in the same manner, the universe is born here out of Brahman, God, consciousness. Manifesting your life is everything. Now, listen to me when I tell you this. I'm going to use an example. We all know about dating, right? You ever gone to the bar or a restaurant or a social function, a church, and you noticed there was a guy or a gal who showed zero interest in anybody, yet everybody showed interest in that person? In the sales world, I made millions teaching people this concept called the takeaway. The takeaway is where you, in essence, are showing your client you could care less if they buy anything. I don't care if you buy something or not. But it's not words, it's a persona, it's a smell in the air, it is you, your presence, your ambiance, it's everything that makes that client think, God, this guy doesn't care if I buy. Well, I'm curious. What is it he's trying to sell? You got him. It's the bait to get him to the hook. The bait. One of my favorite guys in sales was a guy named Tommy. God rest his soul. Tom Whitney. Sorry, I pronounced his name wrong. But Tommy was a beautiful soul. He's no longer with us. Tommy was, I'll just be honest, an ugly man. He was not a pretty guy. And he would go to the bars every night after work when we traveled this country. And he would go home to his hotel room with the hottest woman in the bar. And I know what you're thinking. Is the bishop giving us advice on how to pick up women? That's not what I'm doing. But I am telling you how Tommy did it. Tommy had a routine. He didn't care if you turned him down. In his eyes, he was beautiful. In his eyes, he was magnificent. In his eyes, he was the best thing on this earth. And guess what? That persona, that takeaway made women bite on him and just bite and they got hooked and bang. Tommy always had the hottest woman on earth on his shoulder. He was also one of the greatest salesmen. He didn't care if you bought or not. By not caring, people then want to buy more because you can smell the guy who's trying to sell you. Oh, you need to buy this. The second you can smell it, you're done. You're not buying anything. But when you don't think they care about you and you're almost like, I'm not good enough to buy from you, what's wrong with you? I'm good enough to buy from you. It's reverse psychology. The takeaway is amazing. It's a way to manifest what you want. Now, the Hindus just talked about the Brahman, the God consciousness is the key in creating the universe. You and me are the universe. What we create is ours. Someone said one day on a phone call yesterday or today, I can't remember, man, you sure have a lot of health problems. No, I don't. I'm actually one of the healthiest people you'll ever meet. With all the opportunities, I don't use the word problems, with all the opportunities that my physiology and my issues in my body, those opportunities, I've turned them into strengths because I manifest. I use the concept of creating my future. Now you say that's a bunch of hocus pocus. Well, that hocus pocus made me millions. That hocus pocus got Tommy the hottest women on earth. That hocus pocus created businesses like McDonald's out of sheer nothing. Ray Kroc was the founder of McDonald's. Two brothers had the actual McDonald's franchise, and they were idiots and didn't see the value in it. They saw nothing. Ray sold them these machines to make their shakes. And he had another distributor in Arizona who's like, that's a great name, McDonald's. And they liked the burger. They had this little cheeseburger, and it was a great taste. And so Ray's like, hey, why don't we franchise the name? And the two brothers are like, why would anybody want to have a business named McDonald's? That's not smart. Well, that's because they were not smart. They had no concept of branding, right? Our ministry has a brand, Jonathan's Refuge. It's a brand. Our refuge, whoever donates money, the house is named in their honor. But the brand is Jonathan's Refuge. Nike has multiple shoe product lines. Air Jordan, that's an entire line. It's a whole division. It's its own company under Nike. But the brand is Nike. And so what's interesting is some men create, like Ray Kroc created McDonald's. He didn't have the name. It was two other guys' real name. He didn't have the burger. They had a burger. But he saw and manifested this dream, this vision, and he bet everything on it. He went home to his wife and he said, I've sold our insurance policy. I've mortgaged the house. I've sold all of our stocks in retirement, and I'm betting it all on this thing. Now, some people called him stupid, foolish, and an idiot. Well, you know the story. Trillions of dollars later, Ray Kroc's a genius, right? But that's because he manifested it. He got into this thing called this consciousness. One of my favorite authors is a man named Wallace D. Wattles. And he wrote a book about the secrets of wealth. That there's actually secrets to getting rich. And he wrote a couple of them about health and a few other topics. But here's the thing. There's this secret substance that permeates and penetrates everything. And that's this God consciousness, this creative consciousness that created the universe, that creates McDonald's from nothing, that created Nike from just some idea. I can keep going with showing you world historical facts of people who manifested my health. There's a great example. My health. The doctors today talking about the surgery coming up. They're asking me questions about my last surgeries last year. They're like, you had a couple heart surgeries. Yeah, in between two of them, on a week's difference, I went up and climbed to lunch counter at Mount Adams, which is 9,300 feet up, 9,400 feet up in the air. I did that by myself, only 1 week after having a heart surgery and only 1 week before having another heart surgery. I manifested it. I saw myself doing it. Everything you want in this world, you can manifest. Now, it takes a lot of other things involved in that. There are steps, there are action. One of the key things that no one ever realizes is it takes action. When I was 450 pounds, I took a picture of me when I was in my early 20s, when I was slim and fit and sexy and all that stuff, that goodness that made me just feel good. And I put it on a vision board next to my bed. And then I took my current picture of my face and I stuck it on there. And I said, I want to look like that again. And every day I got up and I saw it. And I would stop and I would close my eyes and I would remember the feeling of being thin, being able to bend down and touch my toes, being able to jump around and not feel pain, being able to run and sprint. I would feel the laughter inside of the joy and the love of being in shape. And I lost 280 pounds, not by just thinking it, but by taking the next step, action. You see, you have to first think what it is you want, create it in your mind. Jonathan's Refuge, the Church of Inclusion, Grace Connection Services, these are all things that I created years ago on a pen and paper. I created it all, manifested it. But then I had to create the plan. I had to talk to mentors. And then after I got a plan, then I had to take action. And then I had to go ahead and sometimes adjust. And this goes back to my copyrighted system called FPAR, FPARR, faith, plan, action, revise if needed, and repeat until success. So you go through this whole process. I'm sorry, I actually messed up the last two R's. It's FPAR is faith, plan, action, and then repeat until success. Reevaluate if needed, and then repeat until success. And you just do that cycle over and over again, and you become successful. But you need to first have faith. That comes from this God consciousness we're talking about. All religions, all faiths discuss this in different ways. And the Vedas did a beautiful way of explaining that. And so Jesus talked about it when he says, pray to God in heaven as though it's all been given to you on earth. So I thank God every night for the abundance of love that will come to me tomorrow. I thanked God today for the skilled surgeons that are going to take care of me tomorrow. I thanked God today for the speedy surgery that's going to occur. I thanked God today for what's going to occur next week, even though it hasn't happened. And I'm focused on it, and I keep focused on it, and I don't take my eye off that ball. And then I have a plan, and then I take action, and I repeat that process until I succeed. And if I need to revise it, then I revise it, and then I repeat it again until I succeed. And that FPAR system is an amazing tool to give you the steps. It's a simple system. It's that simple. People say, how do you make millions of dollars? Follow that process. Create it in your mind. Envision it. Dream it. Put it on your dream board, your vision board, next to your bed so you see it every night, every day. Put that up on the wall, in the window, on your driver's, mirror. Don't block your mirror, by the way, but put it somewhere so you see it every single day so you are focused on it. And then you start that plan and you're going over it, and then you start modifying it, and then you're taking action steps. See, I thought of being thin. I envisioned it. I remembered it, but then I had to take action. And that's where my fat butt had to get outside and actually start walking. And then not only did my fat butt have to start walking, my mouth had to stop eating certain foods, certain calories. You know that the average person nowadays in America on an average day is eating somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 calories a day? That is just disgusting and mind-blowingly gross. But that's because our average plate in my grandmother's day in America back in the 50s and 60s, those plates used to be like the little salad plate that we get now. Now we get our main plate, and they're like this. We've changed ourselves, and that's got to do with a lot of things. But the point I'm trying to say is I had to adjust and look at everything and go, wow. So it's not just envisioning, it's getting my fat keister out there and walking. It's also taking responsibility for what goes in my mouth and educating myself. I went to school to get a degree in nutrition. I wanted to understand nutrition. And once I understood nutrition and exercise and the routine, I had my game plan. I took action. I repeated it until I succeeded. Sometimes I had to adjust course. I did so. And then I finally lost 280 pounds. Now, after my heart surgery last year, I gained a few pounds, no biggie. And I just used that same process, and I've already dropped 31 pounds, and I'm on track to keep going. My point to you is this, my friends. I love you so much. I want you to have the greatest life that you can have. So start by envisioning it. Start by writing it down. Start by putting it up on a dream board or a vision board. It's what you dream of. It's something that captivates you, holds you, grabs you, and every day you are working to that goal. I have a young man who's watching this right now at the refuge, and he just celebrated his birthday. He's 29 years old. This young man 4 years ago came to me with nothing and wouldn't even talk to people, wouldn't even look at you. He just stared down at the ground, and if he had to, he would say something, look up, and then get out of there as quick as he could. Now, he's such an amazing person. He's a total different personality. Now, he has an amazing career. Now, he's an investor investing thousands of dollars in his investments. Now he walks 3 miles every day for personal fitness. Now he is getting educated on nutrition to understand what to eat and how it affects his body. That young man, I love you, Jacito. That young man is living proof that if you use that principle of the FPAR, the faith, the vision of it, the contemplating of it, taking and creating a plan, and taking action, repeating it until you succeed, and then, of course, readjusting course if need be, that young man has done it, and so can you. Don't let anybody say you can't get what you want out of life, because I know you can. I did, and I'm still getting it, and I'm still manifesting whatever it is that I'm looking at every day. I love you guys. God loves you. You know the drill. Live positive. But as we live positive, let's make sure we are staying focused on what we're dreaming, on what we want, and that we're taking and creating a plan, taking our action steps, and then repeating it until we succeed. I love you guys. God bless. I'll see you next week out there.